6 lucky numbers to focus and get rich on the 23rd of September, 2025. On September 23rd, 2025, the universe aligns in a unique vibration that many spiritual seekers and wisdom traditions identify as a day of opportunity. It is not merely another date on the calendar, but within the cosmic cycles, this day is believed to carry patterns of energy that can shift a person's fortune, especially when they are open, mindful, and prepared to receive. When we look at numbers through the lens of Buddhist teachings, we don't treat them as magical formulas that guarantee instant wealth. Instead, we recognize them as symbols of karmic resonance, mirrors of the vibrations of our thoughts, intentions, and actions. They act like windows through which the deeper patterns of the Dharma are revealed. And on September 23, 2025, 6 numbers in particular hold the potential to guide us towards focus, clarity, and prosperity. Before unveiling these 6 lucky numbers, we must first understand why numbers, dates, and mindfulness are deeply connected in the Buddhist path. Buddhism teaches that luck is not random. What we often call luck is actually the unfolding of karma, seeds we have planted through past actions. Karma, however, is not fixed. It is fluid, constantly shaped by new intentions and deeds. Just as a farmer can influence the harvest by watering, fertilizing, and protecting the crop, so too can we influence the outcome of our lives by aligning with right thought, right action, and right concentration. When we speak of lucky numbers, we are not talking about superstition, but about symbols that remind us to concentrate our minds, refine our intentions, and open ourselves to prosperity that flows naturally when we walk the path of generosity, mindfulness, and wisdom. September 23rd is significant because it falls within a lunar and solar alignment where energies of abundance are traditionally amplified. Ancient practitioners used to mark such days as days to sow merit, by offering food to monks, by reciting sutras, by practicing generosity. Over time, cultural traditions also attach numbers to these days, creating a bridge between symbolic numerology and spiritual practice. Why 6 numbers? In Buddhist cosmology, 6 often represents the 6 paramitas, or 6 perfections: generosity, morality, patience, effort, concentration, and wisdom. To focus on 6 numbers on September 23rd is to symbolically remind ourselves of these 6 qualities. If you seek wealth without patience, your fortune will collapse. If you seek success without generosity, your riches will bring suffering. But when the 6 paramitas guide your actions, wealth becomes not just material gain, but also inner abundance. In this teaching, the 6 lucky numbers are not simply digits to write on a lottery ticket. They are reminders, anchors, that call us back to mindfulness. They say, focus here, meditate on this, carry this vibration with you. The title of today's reflection emphasizes focus, and for good reason. Wealth is not born from scattered energy. Just like a magnifying glass can ignite fire only when sunlight is concentrated into a single point, so too can prosperity be awakened only when the mind is steady and undistracted. Modern life pulls our attention in 1,000 directions, with social media, endless notifications, and constant comparisons. This fragmentation drains our spiritual energy. But when we choose to focus on a mantra, on a meditation, or even on 6 symbolic numbers, we reclaim our power. September 23rd is a day when distractions will feel heavier than usual. Many astrologers and spiritual practitioners note this date as a dual energy day. It can scatter your fortune if you are careless, but it can magnify your abundance if you are mindful. The choice is yours. Imagine this day like a fertile field. The soil is ready, but you decide whether to plant weeds or golden rice. The 6 lucky numbers we will explore in the coming parts are like seeds. Each one represents not only a possibility of material wealth, but also a teaching for spiritual growth. Wealth, in the Buddhist understanding, is not limited to money. True wealth includes peace of mind, the ability to give without fear, and the wisdom to live free from craving. A millionaire who cannot sleep at night is poor. A farmer who eats his meal with joy and gratitude is wealthy. The 6 numbers we will share carry this dual promise: external prosperity and inner fulfillment. Before we reveal these 6 numbers, let us prepare our mind and heart. There are 3 simple actions you can take today to align yourself with prosperity. First, sit in stillness for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Ask yourself, why do I seek wealth? Is it for greed, or is it to bring comfort to my family, to support the Dharma, to relieve suffering? Purify your intention. Second, make a small act of generosity. Give water to a thirsty traveler. Feed a stray animal. Offer a smile to someone in pain. Generosity activates the karmic streams that lead to abundance. Third, write down your wish clearly. Focus on what you truly want, not what society tells you to desire. When you write it, you are planting a karmic seed. By taking these steps, you are no longer just a passive listener waiting for lucky numbers. You become an active participant in shaping your fortune. This is the foundation, the fertile ground on which the 6 lucky numbers can take root. If your mind is distracted, the numbers will mean nothing. If your heart is closed, the numbers will not resonate. But if you come prepared, mindful and generous, then these 6 numbers become not just digits, but Dharma gates, each opening into abundance. In the next section, we will reveal the first lucky number of September 23rd, 2025. You will learn its symbolic meaning, its spiritual connection, and how to align your actions with its energy. This is not just about chance. It is about awakening your inner ability to focus and attract abundance. If today's opening reflection resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast. Hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you hope to achieve with wealth? Is it freedom, security, or generosity? Your answer may inspire others on the same journey. Stay with us, because in part 2, the journey into the 6 lucky numbers begins, and with it, the possibility of transforming your fortune on this powerful day. On September 23rd, 2025, the first number that emerges with clarity, focus, and deep symbolic power is number 8. Across many cultures, number 8 is tied to abundance, infinity, and balance. In Buddhist symbolism, it resonates directly with the Noble Eightfold Path: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. To hold number 8 in your mind is to remind yourself that prosperity does not come from reckless desire, but from walking a path where every step is aligned with wisdom and compassion. Number 8 visually represents an endless cycle, much like the karmic wheel of samsara. When placed on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol, suggesting that true wealth is not temporary, but flows without end when connected to the Dharma. Many numerologists also describe number 8 as a karmic balancer, meaning it brings into harmony what has been sown in the past. If you have planted seeds of generosity, patience, and discipline, number 8 becomes the gateway through which abundance flows back to you. but if you have planted greed, deceit, or laziness. Number 8 can also manifest as obstacles, teaching you lessons before allowing you to receive prosperity. On September 23rd, 2025, this number carries particular weight because of the dual energy of that day. As shared in Part 1, this date can scatter fortune or magnify it. Number 8 invites you to focus. Its symmetrical loops mirror each other like cause and effect, reminding us that what you focus on today will echo into your wealth tomorrow. For someone seeking material prosperity, number 8 is a reminder to balance external gain with inner virtue. If you earn wealth through dishonesty, the karmic loop will return suffering. If you accumulate riches without generosity, your abundance will rot from within. But when you earn money through right livelihood, work that uplifts, heals, or serves others, your wealth becomes both material and spiritual. This number also resonates with discipline. Just as an infinite loop requires continuity, wealth requires consistency. A person who meditates once and abandons the practice will not find peace, just as one who invests money recklessly will not secure prosperity. Number 8 teaches, remain steady, balanced, consistent. To illustrate the meaning of number 8, let us turn to a story often retold in Buddhist circles. Long ago, in the ancient city of Benares, there lived a merchant named Ananda. He was clever, ambitious, and dreamed of building a trading empire. Every morning, he would bow to the Buddha's image, but in his heart, he was restless, always chasing after more wealth. One year, he prepared 8 ships, each loaded with goods, spices, silks, and gems. He believed that by sending out 8 ships, he would return with unimaginable riches. Before departing, he visited a monk for blessings. The monk said to him, 8 is a powerful number, but remember, its meaning is not in the ships, but in the path. If your mind follows the Noble Eightfold Path, your wealth will grow endlessly. But if you forget the path, 8 ships will not save you. Ananda dismissed the advice, thinking it was just a sermon. He sent his ships to sea. As fate would have it, 7 of his ships sank during storms. Only one returned, and with it, just enough wealth to cover his losses. Broken and bitter, he went back to the monk. The monk gently reminded him, "You built ships, but forgot to build merit. You chased wealth, but neglected wisdom. Number 8 did not fail you. You failed to understand it." From that day forward, Ananda changed his approach. He still sent ships to sea, but each time he did so, he made offerings to the poor, shared food with the Sangha, and treated his workers fairly. Slowly his fortune grew, not in sudden bursts, but steadily, like a river that never dries. People began to call him the Merchant of 8 Blessings, for his life embodied the teaching of the Noble Eightfold Path. His story teaches us that number 8 is not merely a sign of quick gain, but of balance between effort and virtue. As you step into the energy of this day, keep number 8 close to your heart. Write it on a piece of paper, meditate upon it, or even carry it in your wallet as a symbolic reminder. But do not treat it as a charm. Treat it as a teaching. Ask yourself, am I walking the Eightfold Path in my daily life? Is my pursuit of wealth balanced with generosity and compassion? Am I consistent, disciplined, and steady in my efforts? If your answer is yes, then the vibration of number 8 will resonate with your actions, and abundance will naturally find you. On the morning of September 23rd, take 8 deep breaths in silence. With each breath, reflect on one of the Eightfold Path principles. Write down 8 intentions for how you will use wealth to benefit yourself and others. Place this note where you can see it throughout the day. In doing so, you are not just calling upon luck, you are actively aligning your energy with the karmic loop of prosperity. Number 8 is only the beginning. In the next section, we will uncover the second lucky number, which carries the vibration of harmony, partnership, and spiritual alignment. Together, these numbers form a web of teachings that can guide you towards both external fortune and inner fulfillment. If this story of the merchant of Benares inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you see number 8 as a reminder of discipline, or as a symbol of endless flow? Don't forget to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and share it with friends who are also seeking balance and abundance. Stay tuned for part 3, where another lucky number will reveal its wisdom for September 23rd, 2025. The second lucky number for September 23rd, 2025 is number 2. At first glance, number 2 may seem modest compared to the grandeur of number 8, yet within its simplicity lies profound spiritual depth. In Buddhist thought, number 2 symbolizes duality and harmony, the interplay of self and others, cause and effect, wisdom and compassion. It reminds us that prosperity is never achieved in isolation. It arises when relationships are nurtured, when generosity flows between people, and when balance is found between giving and receiving. On this day of heightened energy, number 2 becomes a guiding principle. You cannot grow rich without harmony, and you cannot be truly fortunate unless your wealth uplifts not just yourself, but others as well. Number 2 also reflects the principle of interdependence, a core Buddhist teaching. Nothing exists independently. Everything arises in connection with everything else. A seed does not sprout without soil, rain, and sunlight. Likewise, your success does not exist without the support of teachers, friends, family, or even strangers whose unseen contributions form the web of your life. When we meditate on number 2, we remember that to walk the path of abundance, we must honor these connections, nurture them, and avoid arrogance that blinds us to interdependence. Visually, number 2 curves gently, like a path that bends but does not break. It teaches flexibility and adaptability. In wealth building, rigidity can lead to loss, but adaptability creates resilience. The curve of the number 2 reminds us that life is not a straight line, but a flowing river. To prosper, we must learn when to bend and when to stand firm. On September 23rd, number 2 carries the energy of partnership and alignment, urging you to collaborate rather than compete, to harmonize rather than isolate. To illustrate this, let us recall a story from Buddhist folklore. There once lived 2 brothers in a small village who inherited their father's land. The elder brother, named Surya, was hardworking but proud, believing he needed no one's help. The younger brother, named Chandana, was gentler and always valued cooperation. When they divided the land, Surya chose the larger half for himself, thinking it would make him rich, while Chandana accepted the smaller portion without complaint. As years passed, Surya worked tirelessly, but his crops often failed because he refused advice, ignored seasonal wisdom, and quarreled with neighbors. Chandana, on the other hand, shared water with nearby farmers, exchanged seeds, and treated his workers kindly. His fields flourished, and his harvests grew larger each year. One drought struck the village, and Surya's crops withered. Desperate, he turned to his brother. Chandana welcomed him warmly, sharing food and water without hesitation. Surprised, Surya asked, "Why do you help me when I treated you unfairly?" Chandana replied, "Because wealth is not about what I hold in my storehouse. It is about what flows between us. Just as 2 wings are needed for a bird to fly, harmony between brothers is needed for us to prosper." From then on, the brothers worked together, and their land became the most fertile in the region. The villagers began to say, "The brothers of 2 wings bring fortune to all." This story shows that number 2 is not about competition, but about complementarity. Just as the Buddha taught that compassion and wisdom must walk together, so too does prosperity require partnership. One without the other is incomplete. On September 23rd, if you carry the energy of number 2 in your heart, you will find opportunities to form alliances, receive unexpected support, and attract wealth, not through struggle, but through harmony. Practically, how can we apply number 2 on this powerful day? Begin by reflecting on your relationships. Ask yourself, are there bridges I have burned that need rebuilding? Are there people whose kindness I have taken for granted? Am I open to receiving help as well as giving it? Number 2 teaches humility. The humility to recognize that we are not self-made, but community-made. A simple act, such as calling a friend to express gratitude or offering forgiveness to someone who wronged you, can unlock karmic pathways to abundance more powerful than any material strategy. On September 23rd, you can also practice the twofold generosity. First, give something tangible, a meal, a coin, a gift, to someone in need. Second, give something intangible, a kind word, forgiveness, encouragement. When you do both, you complete the cycle of number 2. You give outwardly, but you also give inwardly, uplifting hearts as well as bodies. This act aligns with karmic law, and the energy of the day magnifies it, returning fortune to you in unexpected ways. Another meditation for number 2 is to focus on the breath. Every inhalation is receiving. Every exhalation is giving. Together, they sustain life. Spend a few minutes on September 23rd observing your breath, repeating silently, I receive, I give, I give, I receive. In this rhythm lies the essence of prosperity, balance, flow, partnership. Number 2 also warns against selfishness. If you attempt to hoard wealth, ignoring the needs of others, the karmic balance will falter. Just as one wing cannot lift a bird, selfishness cannot lift your fortune. The Dharma reminds us that true richness comes not from what you keep, but from what you share. The brothers' story echoes this truth. Generosity strengthens relationships, and relationships sustain prosperity. As you carry number 2 in your heart on September 23rd, be mindful of every interaction. A smile, a handshake, a kind gesture may become the key that opens doors of abundance. Do not underestimate small acts. They are seeds that blossom into great fortune. Number 2 assures us that when we walk hand in hand with others, our steps are lighter and our path is filled with blessings. Thus, number 2 is not simply a lucky number to be written on a ticket or whispered as a charm. It is a reminder of harmony, interdependence, and shared prosperity. It teaches us that on this day of heightened energy, fortune will not come through isolation, but through connection. Prosperity will not bloom through pride, but through humility and compassion. As we prepare to uncover the next number, hold number 2 in your mind as a gentle yet powerful reminder. Your fortune is tied to the fortune of others. Your wealth is enriched by generosity, and your abundance is magnified by harmony. If this teaching resonates with you, remember to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and share your reflections in the comments. How has partnership or harmony brought prosperity into your life? Your story may inspire another listener on their journey. Stay with us, because in Part 4, we will unveil the third lucky number, a number that embodies strength, resilience, and the courage to rise after every fall. The third lucky number for September 23rd, 2025, is number 5. This number carries within it the vibration of resilience, adaptability, and transformation. In Buddhist traditions, number 5 is profoundly symbolic because it represents the 5 precepts that form the ethical foundation of practice. Not to kill, not to steal, not to engage in sexual misconduct, not to lie, and not to intoxicate the mind. These precepts are not chains, but wings, giving us the moral strength to fly through life's storms. When aligned with number 5, we are reminded that wealth without ethics is fragile, but wealth grounded in virtue is unshakable. Number 5 is also a symbol of balance. Just as our body has 5 senses to perceive the world, so too does our life require harmony between 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. When these elements are balanced, prosperity flows naturally. When they are disturbed, misfortune arises. On September 23rd, number 5 calls us to resilience, the ability to stand strong in the face of challenge, to bend without breaking, and to transform obstacles into stepping stones. In numerology, number 5 is often associated with freedom and change. It is the energy of the traveler, the pioneer, the one who dares to step beyond comfort. Buddhist teachings remind us that clinging leads to suffering. Number 5 encourages us to let go of attachments that bind us, to embrace impermanence, and to see change not as an enemy, but as the very path to renewal. To bring this lesson to life, let us reflect on a story of resilience from the Buddhist canon. Long ago, there was a young man named Rahula, the son of the Buddha. When he was ordained as a novice monk, he faced many hardships. His body was weak, his mind restless, and his path uncertain. One day, he asked the Buddha, "Father, I feel as if I will fail. I cannot endure the heat, the hunger, the discipline." The Buddha looked at him with compassion and said, "Rahula, think of the earth. People throw pure things upon it, and they also throw impure things upon it. Yet the earth bears it all with patience, without anger. Be like the earth. Be resilient like the ground beneath your feet." Rahula took these words to heart. Each day he faced struggles, but he returned to the image of the earth, patient and unshaken. Over time, he grew strong, not because his challenges disappeared, but because his mind transformed. He became a symbol of resilience, showing that true strength is not the absence of suffering, but the courage to endure with wisdom and compassion. His journey reflects the energy of number 5, to embrace discipline, to transform hardship into growth, and to keep moving forward no matter how fierce the storm. On September 23rd, carrying number 5 in your heart means remembering that fortune favors not those who seek comfort, but those who cultivate resilience. Wealth is often born in the soil of struggle. A farmer who withstands drought, a trader who endures loss, a seeker who persists in meditation despite distraction, all embody the resilience of number 5. If you wish to attract abundance on this day, be willing to stand firm in virtue and adapt with courage. Practically, how can one align with number 5 on this auspicious day? Begin by reflecting on the 5 precepts. Ask yourself honestly, do I live in a way that harms no one? Do I respect what belongs to others? Do I speak truthfully? Do I live with mindfulness rather than intoxication? Each precept is like a pillar that strengthens the house of your fortune. When these pillars are weak, even the grandest wealth will collapse. But when they are firm, even a modest life feels rich. You can also practice resilience meditation on September 23rd. Sit quietly and imagine yourself as a tree with 5 great roots. Each root represents one precept, sinking deep into the soil of the Dharma. Storms may shake your branches, but your roots keep you steady. Repeat silently. I am rooted in virtue. I am resilient. I rise again. This simple practice aligns your mind with the vibration of number 5, preparing you to receive the abundance of the day. There is another lesson hidden within number 5, the wisdom of transformation. Just as the caterpillar must shed its form to become a butterfly, so too must we shed old habits, fears, and attachments to embrace a richer life. Perhaps you are holding on to a business that no longer serves you, a relationship that drains you, or a belief that limits you. On September 23rd, number 5 whispers, "Let it go. Trust in change. Fortune is not found in clinging, but in the courage to transform." One more story illustrates this truth. In a distant village, a potter made 5 clay pots. 4 were sold quickly, but 1 remained because it was slightly cracked. The potter almost discarded it, but he decided to use it for carrying water to his garden. Every day, as he walked from the river, the cracked pot leaked water along the path. At first he thought it useless, but soon he noticed flowers blooming where the water had spilled. The cracked pot, through its imperfection, brought unexpected beauty. The villagers later called it the pot of blessings. This story teaches that resilience is not perfection. Number 5 reminds us that even our cracks can become channels of fortune when we persist with patience and wisdom. Therefore, on September 23rd, align with number 5 by embracing both your strength and your imperfections. Use them to create beauty, to nurture others, to cultivate resilience. Wealth will not always appear as a sudden treasure chest. Sometimes it grows quietly like flowers along a cracked path. As we move forward, let us carry the lessons of number 5. Resilience in hardship, adaptability in change, and faith in transformation. Remember that fortune is not for the faint-hearted. It is for those who endure with wisdom. If this teaching on number 5 speaks to your heart, share in the comments how resilience has shaped your life. Subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and pass it on to friends who are seeking strength and fortune. Stay with us, because in part 5, we will uncover the 4th lucky number, a number tied to wisdom, expansion, and the power to see beyond limitations. The 4th lucky number for September 23rd, 2025, is number 9. Among all numbers, 9 is often regarded as the symbol of completion, wisdom, and expansive vision. In Buddhism, it resonates with the idea of culmination, the maturity of practice, and the realization of truths that transcend ordinary limitations. Number 9 is the last single digit, and in this sense it carries the vibration of fullness, the end of a cycle before a new one begins. To hold number 9 in your heart is to remember that wealth is not only the accumulation of money, but the ripening of wisdom and merit that have been cultivated over time. Number 9 has a special resonance in Buddhist culture. In many traditions, 9 is linked to the 9 virtues of the Buddha: wisdom, purity, compassion, mindfulness, effort, patience, loving-kindness, equanimity, and truth. When people chant praises to the Buddha, they often refer to these 9 virtues as guiding lights. To focus on number 9, therefore, is to invite the fullness of these qualities into your own journey of prosperity. Wealth without wisdom is shallow. Riches without compassion lead to isolation. But when wisdom expands, fortune follows naturally, and abundance flows with dignity and purpose. On September 23rd, the vibration of number 9 is especially powerful because it encourages us to see beyond immediate gains. It is easy to become trapped in the pursuit of small profits, but number 9 expands your vision, reminding you that the greatest wealth is long-lasting, not fleeting. If number 8 taught us balance and karma, and number 5 taught us resilience, number 9 now teaches us wisdom, the ability to look at the bigger picture, to wait for the right time, and to choose paths that may not yield instantly but create lasting prosperity. To illustrate the meaning of number 9, let us recall a story of the Buddha himself. During his travels, he once encountered a farmer who was plowing his field. The farmer complained to the Buddha, "I work all day. I toil endlessly, but I never seem to have enough. Why is fortune not with me?" The Buddha gently replied, "Because you plant seeds only in the soil, but not in your mind." Just as there are 9 months before a child is born, wealth too requires a period of maturity. Plant seeds of wisdom, and your harvest will come not just in rice, but in joy. The farmer at first dismissed these words, but later, as he continued to listen to the Buddha's teachings, he realized that his true poverty was not in his harvest, but in his restless heart. When he learned patience and wisdom, his life blossomed, not only in crops, but in peace. Number 9 carries this very teaching. Everything matures in time. Just as it takes 9 months for new life to be nurtured, so too does prosperity require patience, wisdom, and trust. To rush wealth is to uproot the plant before it bears fruit. To expand your vision is to allow the plant to flower in its own season. On this day, number 9 encourages you not to chase fortune blindly, but to cultivate wisdom that makes fortune inevitable. Practically, how can you align with number 9 on September 23rd? Begin by contemplating the 9 virtues of the Buddha. Ask yourself, do I live with purity of intention? Do I act with compassion toward others? Do I cultivate patience? Or do I fall into anger and haste? Each virtue is like a step that leads you toward the summit of abundance. By embodying even one of these qualities deeply, you shift the karmic currents in your favor. You can also meditate on expansion. Take 9 deep breaths while visualizing your life not as it is today, but as it can be in its fullness. Picture yourself not just wealthy, but wise, not just successful, but compassionate. With each breath, repeat silently, "May my wealth expand with wisdom. May my wisdom guide my wealth." This simple practice harmonizes your energy with the vibration of number 9. Another lesson hidden within number 9 is the courage to let go. Because it represents the end of a cycle, it reminds us that some chapters must close for new opportunities to arise. Perhaps there are ventures in your life that no longer serve you, investments that drain your spirit, or relationships that limit your growth. Number 9 whispers, "Have the wisdom to release what is complete." By letting go, you create space for new abundance to flow in. To make this concrete, consider the story of an old scholar named Dhammapala. He spent 9 decades studying scriptures, but never shared his knowledge. He hoarded wisdom as others hoard gold. When he was near the end of his life, he finally decided to teach. In the last 9 years of his life, he taught with such compassion that countless students were transformed. People later said his final 9 years brought more merit than his previous 90. This tale teaches that number 9 is about expansion. Wisdom and wealth must not be locked away, but shared, for in sharing they multiply. On September 23rd, align with number 9 by practicing generosity of wisdom. Share what you know with others, whether it is a skill, advice, or encouragement. In doing so, you transform your wisdom into a currency that never diminishes. Wealth, gained through wisdom and shared with compassion, creates a fortune that lasts beyond lifetimes. Thus, number 9 is not just a lucky number to write on a ticket. It is a profound teaching. It tells us, do not measure your life only by immediate gains. Think of the long cycles, the greater purpose, the deeper truths. True wealth is not in the momentary possession of riches, but in the expansion of wisdom that enriches all who encounter it. As we prepare to move to the next number, carry with you the lesson of number 9. Let it remind you to think broadly, to live wisely, and to use wealth not as a cage of greed, but as a vehicle of compassion. On September 23rd, let your fortune not be small or fleeting, but vast and enduring. If this reflection on number 9 has inspired you, remember to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and share in the comments how wisdom has expanded your own path. Has there been a moment where patience and vision brought greater fortune than rushing ever could? Your answer may inspire others. Stay with us, because in Part 6, we will explore the 5th lucky number, a number that carries the energy of patience, persistence, and limitless expansion. The 5th lucky number for September 23rd, 2025, is number 7. Among all sacred numbers, 7 often carries the vibration of completeness, spiritual awakening, and hidden blessings. In many cultures, 7 is considered magical, but within Buddhism, its significance is profound. When the Buddha was born, legend tells us he took 7 steps, and at each step a lotus bloomed beneath his feet. Those 7 steps were not random. They symbolized the journey of awakening, the path from ignorance to enlightenment, and the unfolding of spiritual power that transcends worldly limitations. Number 7 is also linked to the 7 factors of enlightenment: mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. These 7 factors are like 7 flames lighting the path of wisdom. When they burn together, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. To focus on number 7 on September 23rd is to invite spiritual clarity into the pursuit of material wealth. It reminds us that riches without inner awakening are fragile. But when guided by enlightenment factors, prosperity becomes unshakable and expansive. The energy of number 7 is also one of persistence and patience. Think of a mountain climber ascending 7 ridges before reaching the summit. Each ridge is a trial, yet each brings the climber closer to the view from above. In the same way, number 7 teaches that fortune does not arrive instantly. It ripens through persistence, through patient steps, and through trust in the journey. On September 23rd, number 7 whispers, "Be patient. Keep climbing. Your abundance is just beyond the next ridge." To illustrate this, let us recall a story from the time of the Buddha. There was once a monk named Puna who lived in a small monastery. He longed for enlightenment, but was constantly discouraged by hardship. The rains destroyed his hut, hunger often gnawed at his belly, and illness weakened his body. Yet each time he considered giving up, he remembered the Buddha's teaching on the 7 factors of enlightenment. He would sit in meditation, repeating mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, equanimity. Slowly, these qualities grew within him, like 7 stars lighting a night sky. Years passed, and though he did not find comfort in possessions, he found strength in persistence. One day, after enduring countless trials, his mind broke free from all clinging, and he attained enlightenment. The villagers later said, "Puna climbed 7 mountains of hardship, and at the summit, he discovered the treasure of awakening." His story reminds us that number 7 does not promise easy wealth, but abundant reward for those who persist with patience and clarity. On September 23rd, carrying number 7 in your heart means embodying this persistence. Wealth may not come on the first attempt. You may fail once, twice, even 6 times. But the 7th attempt can open the floodgates of fortune. Number 7 teaches that blessings are often hidden just beyond the point where most people give up. To align with this number is to refuse defeat, to continue planting seeds, to keep faith alive until abundance manifests. Practically, how can you align with number 7 on this day of heightened energy? Begin with the practice of the 7 bows. Stand before your altar or simply in silence and bow 7 times. With each bow, dedicate your effort to one factor of enlightenment. For example, the first bow for mindfulness, the second for investigation, the third for energy, and so forth. As you do this, you are not only honoring the Dharma, but also activating the vibration of 7 in your body, speech, and mind. Another way is to set 7 intentions for how you will use your wealth. Write them clearly. For instance, to support my family, to feed the hungry, to protect the earth, to build my business ethically, to repay debts, to cultivate wisdom, and to practice generosity. These 7 intentions act as 7 doors. On September 23rd, when the energy is aligned, you may find one or more of these doors opening in ways you could not expect. Number 7 also encourages expansion of perspective. Just as the Buddha's 7 steps symbolize transcendence over the world, you too are called to step beyond narrow views of wealth. Do not see money as merely coins and notes. See it as energy, as opportunity, as a means to relieve suffering and cultivate joy. When you walk with this expansive view, the universe responds by giving you not just wealth, but wisdom to use it rightly. A story from later Buddhist history also captures the energy of number 7. In a remote village, a poor widow had 7 children. Though her life was hard, she refused to complain. Every day she cooked what little rice she had, dividing it into 7 bowls. One day a wandering monk came asking for alms. Though she barely had enough, she gave him one of the bowls. Her children asked, "Mother, why give away our food?" She replied, "Because 7 is not complete without compassion. When we share, our 7 becomes 8, 9, and beyond." That very year, the village experienced an abundant harvest, and the family's life improved. Villagers later said that the widow's single act of generosity multiplied her fortune. This tale shows that number 7, when paired with compassion, transforms scarcity into abundance. Thus, number 7 is not simply a digit of luck, but a teaching of persistence, patience, and expansion. It tells you, keep walking, keep climbing, keep bowing, for fortune is waiting at the 7th step. Do not give up after 6 trials, for the 7th may carry your greatest blessing. On September 23rd, let this number guide your actions, your thoughts, and your faith. As we move forward, remember that number 7 links your material journey with your spiritual awakening. When patience, generosity, and persistence combine, abundance flows in forms greater than you can imagine. If the teaching of number 7 resonates with you, share in the comments how persistence or patience has shaped your fortune. Subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and let others hear this story of the 7th step to abundance. Stay with us, because in part 7, we will uncover the 6th and final lucky number, the number that carries the energy of fulfillment, abundance, and completion. The 6th and final lucky number for September 23rd, 2025, is number 6. At first glance, 6 may appear simple, yet its spiritual vibration is profound. In many traditions, number 6 is associated with harmony, family, responsibility, and fulfillment. Within Buddhist thought, it connects directly to the 6 paramitas: generosity, morality, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. These are the 6 perfections that bodhisattvas cultivate to cross from the shore of suffering to the shore of enlightenment. To carry number 6 in your heart is to walk with balance, to nurture both inner peace and outer abundance, and to complete the circle of prosperity with compassion. Number 6 is often seen as the number of fulfillment because it points us to the responsibilities that come with wealth. Riches are not meant to be hoarded but shared, not only with one's family but with society at large. When you live responsibly, caring for those around you, your wealth becomes meaningful. When you ignore responsibility, wealth becomes hollow. On September 23rd, as the energies of abundance converge, number 6 reminds us that prosperity is most powerful when it uplifts everyone connected to us. Visually, number 6 resembles a spiral that turns inward before circling outward. This shape symbolizes how abundance flows. First, it is cultivated within the heart, and then it radiates outward to family, community, and the world. If your inner world is filled with greed, your spiral collapses inward. But if your inner world is guided by generosity and wisdom, your spiral expands, carrying prosperity far beyond yourself. Number 6 thus invites us to turn inward for mindfulness and then outward for compassion. To illustrate the teaching of number 6, let us recall a story of King Ashoka, one of the greatest patrons of Buddhism. In his early reign, Ashoka sought only power and conquest. He waged wars, expanded his empire, and collected wealth, but his heart was empty. After witnessing the suffering caused by his battles, he turned to the Buddha's teachings. From that day, he chose to embody the 6 paramitas. He practiced generosity by building monasteries, morality by ruling justly, patience by forgiving enemies, diligence by spreading the Dharma, concentration by meditating daily, and wisdom by supporting scholars. His empire became not only powerful, but harmonious, remembered not for conquest, but for compassion. Ashoka's story reveals the essence of number 6. Prosperity must be anchored in virtue to become lasting and fulfilling. On September 23rd, when you align with number 6, you align with responsibility. Ask yourself, how will I use my wealth? Will I care for my parents? Support my children? Aid those in need? Fulfillment is not measured by how much you possess, but by how much joy and peace your possessions bring to others. Number 6 reminds you that prosperity without responsibility is like a house without a foundation. It may stand for a while, but eventually it collapses. Practically, how can you embody number 6 on this day of fortune? Begin by practicing the 6 paramitas in simple ways. Be generous, even with something small. Keep your actions moral and truthful. Show patience to someone who tests your limits. Put effort into your work without laziness. Focus your mind through a few minutes of meditation. Seek wisdom by reading or reflecting on a teaching. Each small act resonates with the vibration of number 6, strengthening your karmic path to abundance. Another way to embody this number is through family harmony. On September 23rd, dedicate time to your loved ones. Share a meal, speak words of gratitude, or offer forgiveness where there has been conflict. Number 6 carries the energy of home and family, reminding us that true wealth is meaningless if it cannot bring peace within our own household. A family united in love and respect becomes a magnet for prosperity, while a divided family squanders even great riches. A folk story illustrates this truth. In a certain village, a wealthy man lived with 6 children. Each child demanded more inheritance, and quarrels arose daily. The man, saddened, gave them a task. He handed them 6 sticks tied together and asked them to break the bundle. None could do it. Then he untied the sticks and gave each child a single stick. Each broke theirs easily. The father said, "When you are united as six, no force can break you. But divided, you are weak." The children learned the lesson, reconciled, and worked together, multiplying their father's wealth. The story shows how number 6 is about unity, harmony, and fulfillment through collective strength. Number 6 also symbolizes the completion of effort. In many Buddhist rituals, offerings are often arranged in 6 items: flowers, incense, light, water, fruit, and music. These 6 offerings represent the complete devotion of body, speech, and mind. When you align your life with number 6, you too offer the fullness of your energy to the path of abundance. Prosperity then becomes not only material, but also spiritual, a state where the heart is full and life feels complete. On September 23rd, meditate on the spiral of number 6. Visualize abundance flowing into your heart as light, filling you with peace, then spiraling outward to touch your family, community, and the world. Repeat silently. May my wealth bring harmony. May my fortune bring fulfillment. May my abundance flow outward. This meditation activates the vibration of number 6, turning your prosperity into a force of compassion. As the final number in this series, 6 completes the circle of lucky numbers. Number 8 gave us balance. Number 2 gave us harmony. Number 5 gave us resilience. Number 9 gave us wisdom. Number 7 gave us persistence. And now number 6 gives us fulfillment. Together they form a map, guiding us toward prosperity that is not shallow or fleeting, but rich with meaning. As you carry the teaching of number 6, remember that the ultimate goal is not wealth for its own sake, but wealth as a means to create peace, love, and wisdom in the world. On this auspicious day, let your abundance become a blessing for all. If this reflection on number 6 resonates with you, share in the comments how you see responsibility and harmony shaping your fortune. Don't forget to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and pass it to others who seek both prosperity and fulfillment. Stay with us, because in Part 8, we will create the transition hook, drawing together the energy of all 6 numbers and preparing to enter the final summary and Dharma message. We have now walked together through 6 numbers of power and meaning: 8 with its balance and karma, 2 with its harmony and interdependence, 5 with its resilience and transformation, 9 with its wisdom and expansion, 7 with its patience and persistence, and 6 with its fulfillment and responsibility. Each number is like a lamp placed along the path, and when lit together, they illuminate a road not only toward material wealth, but also toward spiritual abundance. But before we enter the conclusion, before we gather all these teachings into one Dharma message, let us pause for a moment at the threshold. This is the hook, the turning point, the deep breath before the final step. September 23rd, 2025 is not merely a date, it is a doorway. You may imagine it as a great gate carved from stone, standing tall in the middle of your life. On one side lies your old self, filled with doubts, scattered energy, and unfulfilled desires. On the other side lies your new self, focused, abundant, wise, and compassionate. The 6 numbers you have received are not just digits, they are keys. Each one fits into a lock within this gate, and when turned together, the door of fortune opens wide. The question now is, are you ready to walk through? Think about how you have felt as you heard each story. Did number 8 remind you to stay steady and balanced? Did number 2 remind you of the importance of relationships and support? Did number 5 remind you to keep pushing forward even when life feels heavy? Did number 9 remind you to think bigger, to look beyond short-term gains? Did number 7 remind you that persistence is stronger than defeat? Did number 6 remind you that true wealth must bring fulfillment to others as well as yourself? If you can see a part of yourself reflected in these numbers, then you are already standing with one hand on the gate. This moment between learning and applying is crucial. It is like the silence before a bell is struck, the stillness before dawn breaks. Many people collect teachings but never practice them, just as many hold the seeds of fortune but never plant them. Do not let these 6 numbers remain as words on a screen or sounds in your ear. Let them sink into your heart, shape your actions, and guide your path. This is the hook, the invitation to transform knowledge into living wisdom. Imagine, for a moment, that you are standing at a river. The 6 numbers are 6 stepping stones across the water. Each one is placed carefully, leading you from the near bank of scarcity to the far bank of abundance. If you only admire the stones from afar, you will remain where you are. If you step onto them with faith and focus, you will cross safely. The current may swirl, doubts may arise, but the stones are strong. They are not random. They are grounded in the Dharma, in the timeless truth that wealth flows where virtue is planted. On September 23rd, as the energies of the cosmos align, you will have a choice. You can treat this day like any other, letting it pass unnoticed. Or you can mark it as the day you step into a new rhythm of life. The 6 numbers are like a mantra, a call to action. They say, focus, endure, expand, harmonize, fulfill. If you repeat them with mindfulness, if you embody their teachings in your thoughts, words, and deeds, you will find that fortune is not something you chase. It is something you attract naturally, like a magnet drawing iron. This is also a moment to challenge yourself. Ask honestly, what has held me back from abundance? Is it fear? Is it laziness? Is it pride? Each of the 6 numbers offers an antidote. Fear is healed by the balance of number 8. Laziness is overcome by the persistence of number 7. Pride is softened by the harmony of number 2. Narrow thinking is expanded by number 9. Fragility is strengthened by number 5. Selfishness is transformed by the responsibility of number 6. The numbers are not abstract. They are medicines for the spirit, each one dissolving an obstacle that blocks your wealth. The hook also serves as a reminder. Wealth is a journey, not a destination. If you think of fortune as a single prize to win, you will soon find emptiness. But if you think of it as a path walked daily with wisdom and compassion, you will discover that wealth never ends. It renews itself with every act of generosity, every moment of mindfulness, every step of resilience. The 6 numbers are not a finish line, but milestones. The true treasure lies not in the numbers themselves, but in the person you become by walking their path. Picture yourself on the morning of September 23rd. The sun rises, casting golden light across the earth. You sit quietly, recalling the 6 numbers. You breathe deeply, feeling their energy in your body. You whisper them softly, not as a superstition, but as a prayer of intention. And then you rise, stepping into your day with focus, patience, generosity, and wisdom. Every action you take, whether in work, family, or community, becomes infused with this vibration. This is how the gate opens. Not through luck alone, but through alignment of heart, mind, and action. As we prepare for the conclusion, hold this image firmly. The hook is not meant to end the story, but to draw you deeper into it. In Part 9, we will gather the 6 numbers together, weave their teachings into a single Dharma message, and share the final call to action. But for now, let this pause be your moment of reflection. Stand at the gate, look at the river, hold the keys, feel the weight of possibility pressing gently into your palms. The next step is yours. If this moment of transition speaks to you, share in the comments what number touched your heart most deeply. Was it the balance of 8, the harmony of 2, the resilience of 5, the wisdom of 9, the persistence of 7, or the fulfillment of 6? Your reflection may be the bridge for another listener to cross. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and share it with those who are seeking not only fortune, but meaning. Stay with us, because in Part 9, the journey comes full circle. The 6 numbers will reveal their unity, and together we will discover the true treasure that lies not only in getting rich, but in awakening the abundance of the Dharma itself. We have now reached the end of this journey, the culmination of all reflections, stories, and teachings. Over the past parts, we explored 6 lucky numbers: 8, 2, 5, 9, 7, and 6, each carrying its own vibration, wisdom, and spiritual message. Together, they form not 6 separate teachings, but one complete map, guiding us toward prosperity that is both material and spiritual, immediate and lasting. Today, on September 23, 2025, as the cosmic energy aligns, we are invited not merely to admire these numbers, but to embody them, to let them shape our thoughts, actions, and intentions so that abundance flows naturally into our lives. Number 8 taught us balance, the karmic truth that what we sow returns to us. It showed us that wealth is not random luck, but the natural result of steady discipline, consistency, and alignment with the Eightfold Path. Without balance, fortune slips away. With balance, prosperity is sustainable. Number 2 reminded us of harmony and interdependence. It showed that no one succeeds alone, that true wealth is built on relationships, generosity, and mutual support. Just as a bird needs 2 wings to fly, so too do we need harmony between self and others to rise into abundance. Number 5 spoke of resilience, the ability to endure storms and transform obstacles into growth. It reminded us that fortune rarely appears without challenge, and that patience and discipline are the roots of lasting success. Like the cracked pot that watered flowers along the path, our struggles can become sources of beauty when we walk with resilience. Number 9 lifted our vision to wisdom and expansion. It showed us that fortune is not only about immediate gain, but about the long cycles, the ripening of merit, and the courage to let go of what is complete, so new opportunities may arise. It taught us to think bigger, to use wealth for compassion, and to see abundance as an infinite horizon, not a narrow possession. Number 7 carried the energy of persistence and patience. It reminded us of the 7 steps of the Buddha, the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the truth that blessings often lie just beyond the point where most give up. With number 7, we learn to keep walking, to bow 7 times, to trust the journey, and to know that fortune smiles on those who refuse to abandon their path. Number 6 completed the circle with fulfillment and responsibility. It taught us that wealth without responsibility is empty, but wealth shared with family, community, and the world is meaningful. Through the 6 paramitas, it called us to generosity, morality, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. It reminded us that prosperity must flow outward, like a spiral expanding from the heart to the universe. Taken together, these 6 numbers are not just digits to be written on a ticket or whispered for luck. They are Dharma gates, each opening to a different truth of prosperity. When woven together, they form a net that catches both material fortune and spiritual abundance. They tell us, be balanced, be harmonious, be resilient, be wise, be persistent, be responsible. Do this, and you will not only get rich in the world's eyes, but also become wealthy in the truest sense, wealthy in compassion, wisdom, and peace. September 23rd, 2025, is the day when these lessons converge. Think of it as a mirror held before you. The 6 numbers are reflected there, but more importantly, so are you. You are asked, will you live by these teachings? Will you walk with focus, align your energy, and let fortune arise naturally? This is not about superstition, but about intention. When you step into this day with mindfulness, you unlock doors of abundance that no external force can close. The Dharma message is clear. Wealth is not something to chase, but something to embody. When your heart is generous, when your actions are balanced, when your vision is wise, when your persistence is steady, when your harmony is intact, and when your responsibility is strong, you have already become rich. Money may come, opportunities may appear, but even without them, you will live with the abundance of peace. And when money does come, you will know how to use it, wisely, compassionately, joyfully. So today, take these 6 numbers and let them live in you. Write them down. Meditate on them. Whisper them as intentions. Let them remind you not of chance, but of choice. The choice to live in a way that attracts prosperity. This is the true power of lucky numbers. Not to control fate, but to focus your mind, to awaken your heart, and to align your life with the rhythm of abundance. As we close this journey, I invite you to reflect. What number spoke to you most deeply? Was it the balance of 8, the harmony of 2, the resilience of 5, the wisdom of 9, the persistence of 7, or the fulfillment of 6? Each person will resonate with one more than another, for each path is unique. Share in the comments which number touched your heart and how you plan to embody its lesson in your life. This is the call to action. Do not let today pass as just another day. Step forward with focus. Carry the 6 numbers with you not as superstition, but as Dharma. Use them to guide your choices, to strengthen your patience, to deepen your generosity, and to expand your wisdom. And as you do, you will see that prosperity follows naturally, like a shadow following the body. If this teaching has inspired you, please subscribe to the Buddhist Teachings Podcast, like this video, and share it with friends who are seeking both wealth and wisdom. Together, we can build a community not only of fortune, but of compassion, not only of abundance, but of awakening. Remember, the greatest treasure is not the coins in your hand, but the peace in your heart. Walk with the 6 numbers. Walk with the Dharma. And on September 23rd, step into the gate of fortune with courage and mindfulness. Your abundance awaits.